We're gonna be talking about ways to sell more albums to your wedding photography clients. So if you've ever wanted to sell more albums and you feel like you just don't know how and you've tried a few things but nothing's really catching on, I know exactly where you're coming from, and I know how much album sales can really impact the bottom line of your business. So today I'm gonna be giving you 3 or 4 tips that I implemented last year to actually increase my album sales by 800%. If you're new here, I'm Joy, and I help wedding photographers grow profitable businesses through these tutorials and courses and mentorship. So how do you go from selling none or just a couple of albums to albums for almost every wedding you book? That's what I want to give you guys today. These are things that I implemented into my business that I think are just universal truths for any products that you're trying to sell alongside of your service offering. The first thing that I did differently was I began to show videos and photographs of my albums alongside of my portfolio throughout my website, throughout my social media, and in our first contact. This begins to prime my brides and grooms to start thinking about that album from the very beginning. So not only do they see the album early on, but they begin to think of the album as the final result instead of a digital gallery. So this is a mental shift, and this begins with your first email. So in my first email to my brides and grooms, I make sure to have a link to a video of flipping through an heirloom album so that they can see the story progress throughout the pages. They can see the design, they can see the thickness of the pages, and they're starting to see the options and the colors. The second thing that you need to understand about albums is that you cannot sell something that your clients can't see. So if you don't show it, you don't sell it. So I ordered many different samples in prints, albums, and canvases to bring along to my meetings. Not only does this make me look more professional and prepared for that meeting, but it helps your clients to be able to physically touch these albums. They can flip through the pages, they can see the design, they can literally touch the cover, they can smell the leather, and it makes them think of this album when they think of me. It makes them think, I need one of these albums, I need to buy one for my mom, my grandmother would want this album, and they just start to see that this album is something that they shouldn't pass up on. Another thing I started doing was including albums and print products in some of my packages. So I package it in and I make sure that of course I'm able to cover my cost of the album and that I'm going to be making money off of it, but I add those in because if I truly believe that an album is integral to the experience of having your photos and seeing them and reliving them, then why don't I just add it in to one of my packages? So I don't include this in every single package, but one of my top tier packages does include an album, and I found that it actually is a big push for couples to go ahead and book a higher package because they do want the album and it gives them a better deal and a little bit of a discount rather than adding the album afterward. Adding albums to my preset collections has actually been a really cool addition and very effective, whereas before I had albums, I was offering them, but they were only in that add-on a la carte menu, and almost no one added that on. I don't think people really look at the a la carte menu all that often, except to add an hour of coverage on their wedding day, and it just was so small. It just looked like this little line item, whereas putting it in a part of an overall collection made them start to think that maybe this was a part of the experience. Maybe this was what was top tier. So by having it only as a part of a top tier, it really gave this impression that an album is a luxury item and an album is something only the best get. So it kind of just changes the perspective. Instead of saying this is just an option, it's just a thing on the side, an album is really your ultimate goal as a wedding photographer. Another little secret that I have started implementing into my business in 2017 that really worked was offering a bulk order discount for albums. So what this meant was when a couple invested in their first album, there would be an initial price. But if they were to add duplicate sets for grandparents or parents or friends, they would get a reduced cost. And what this did was this really rewarded my couples for investing in an album, and if they wanted to add on a gift for their parents, it made it easier. So a lot of times my album orders would come in 3s instead of 1 or no album orders. So in summary, you're gonna be showing more video and images of your albums so that clients can start to see it early on. You're going to be including them in in-person meetings so they can get that tangible, hands-on experience. You're going to make sure that you include them in some of your highest collections, and you're going to offer discounts for bulk orders. Those are the 4 tips, and I hope that this helps you sell way more albums in 2018 and 2019. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys.